Very pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are again in front of the Paul Bogle 150th Memorial. We're coming to you because we're concerned as private citizens, and not just myself, but my dear friend Imara is very concerned as a citizen of the world about what is happening or about to happen to our country in regards to this national identification system. Imara, what are your thoughts about this plan that is now being debated in Parliament? A matter of fact, Parliament stayed up until 1 o'clock Saturday morning, arguing back and forth and couldn't come to a solution. And they're getting ready now to argue again as we speak. What are your thoughts, Imara?
Well, my thought about the whole vibration is this, that we as a people, we elect people to represent us. To our view, when we represent a member of Parliament, that member of Parliament should represent the people in a democratic way, if I understand what democracy means. So therefore, that member of Parliament, like a bill like this, should come to the constituency first and get certain approval from the constituency and bring it back to Parliament to see if the people want to partake of that system that is going to affect them life, or whether it's going to affect them life, whether positively or negatively. Now, when you pass a bill, see, and that is going to affect people's life, and people don't understand, then you are ignorant to the law, and then what you are going to create is more meme and controversy in the country against our own brothers and sisters who are a part of even the police force. Because the police force is I and I brothers and sisters. And if we find ourselves in that situation, what we are going to do is ending up killing off each other. You understand? Because they are saying these are the authorities. Authorities over what? Yes. Something, and over who? Something that is oppressive to a people. You are going to have someone. We must remember, why the police force did farm. It was never farmed to protect the citizen or the people. It was farmed to protect plantocracy. Right? And today, we recognize that this administration, what it is doing, is not even just this administration. What they are doing is creating what we call a police state to protect the interests of not just our governmental people, but to protect the interests of white supremacy. And that is detrimental to I and I life as black people, my brother. You see what I say?
Let's look at some part of what this national identification system is all about. 1, you'll be fingerprinted. 2, you'll be footprinted. 3, your vein will be scanned. 4, you cannot buy or sell. 5, you cannot own a driver's license. 6, you cannot own a passport. Failure to comply is a fine of up to $1 million, I heard on the radio this morning. Up from 100,000 to 5, then $1 million. What are your thoughts on that, Imara?
Well, I just want to get more clarity on it, because that is unheard of. That is not something that we even should even worry about. Because guess what? There are issues in this world that we can deal with without even lifting our hand to fire a shot. Because peacefully, we don't want to go out there and fight each other. We don't want to see blood running in the street and we take a stack is we killing one another. But a law like this, and this bill that is passing, it is very oppressive in its nature if it is the way I heard I say it a while ago. Right? If it is that system that they are putting in place.
It's online. You can go online and see that.
We see some of it, but if it is that system that they are putting in place, it is simple. We have to develop the strategy of campaigning just like the politician them. We as a people, we have to start engage our brothers and sisters in the street, including the policeman. We have to have more dialogue instead of controversy and instead of opposing each other, confrontation. We have to start have more dialogue, because guess what happens? Number one, we have to find a way how we can organize ourselves in a way that when you look at the whole system, we said, guess what? This bill passed, nobody going out tomorrow morning. For instance, they claim that this bill is supposed to make you have access to certain government or certain private sector, because the private sector is a part of this thing. And if the private sector decides why you can't do any business in them place, we have to find a way where we start to mobilize people that nobody do business. Them business have to shut down. We do business with one another. Watch your brethren. Our ancestors, we just celebrate what we call National Heroes Week and Heroes Month.
Yes.
Then oh, we are so coward in this time. If Sam Sharp could say I'd rather to die and yonder gallas than live in slavery, what are we afraid of? Dying? All of us here are dying day by day because of the policy that government implemented. People constantly suffering from hypertension, all sorts of sicknesses because of stress. The youth them get so confused, that's why they are killing off each other. What they are doing is finding more way to divide and rule us, that we start to fight each other. So for me, it is not even PMP or GLP, because me not see no PMP or no GLP. Me see humanity in a Jamaica, me see black people in a Jamaica, and all we need to do is remove all these labels. No Rasta, no Christian, see, no GLP, no PMP. We see people in a Jamaica that is suffering under the policy that government implemented, not in the interest of the people, but to suit the interest of the ruling class that is in power for centuries. And we have to stand up now. Now is the time. If we don't stand and defend that, what is going to happen to my little 6-year-old? I understand that the reason why I'm here, I understand that a part of the bill is that my 6-year-old have to have this ID. And every 5 years, my 6-year-old will have to renew this ID. Now, in America, you have the social security system. You don't pay to get that. So why you want to impose a bill that people have to go pay for identification, for ID? How comes that? How that is going to solve crime? And you hear all sorts of stories. Guess what? This man I heard the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Miss Johnson, or Miss Camilla Johnson. She was saying that it's 40 years since this bill is on the table to be passed.
40 years.
40 years. We need to get some clarity why this was there 40 years and just why they are trying to push it. We need to also know the $68 million that they are getting from the IDB, how it is going to be repaid.
6.8 billion.
See?
Billion.
68 million US. When you calculate it, it's actually about 9 billion Jamaican dollar at our expense. So what you are doing? Putting your people in more slavery, in more what we call economic slavery, that for the next 10 generations we have to find a way to pay back some more. We're under the choke already of the IMF with over $1 trillion in debt that me and your grandpicking must pay back. Who owns us, my brother? Where are our rights as human beings? So we have to find a way. We start talk to we little brothers them who are find guns to kill them one another and murder them one another in this country. We need to start to engage these politicians some more, because none of them in the parliament, in the parliament right now. Our brothers and sisters, the plantation them come off, In the 1970s, none of them was sitting in the parliament. I, for parents, taxes, send them go university at the West Indies, go get tertiary level education, Now them come up and turn around and become oppressive to I as a people, When them get free education, taxpayers pay for that, And now them become lawmakers and just put in oppressive law. So we need to engage some of these people and make them get clarity in them head of where they are coming from. All of us that are here today, it's coming from the plantation, including Andrew Holness. So it's not I against them. What we want a kind of unity, coming together to uplift the life of I and I people, man. That is what we want, man. We want peace and tranquility, not confrontation and bloodshed. We're not in that. I know that we want, my brother. See? So our protest is not to fight one another. Our protest is to make sure, see, that we can live in peace. And peace starts with your peace of mind. You can't have peace when you're hungry. You can't have peace when your picnic can't get to go to school. You cannot have peace when a man over there so say my GLP and the next man wears so a PMP. You cannot have peace. You cannot have peace if the Rasta man don't have a chance to practice in religion or in belief right freely. It's violation of the fundamental rights of humanity.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot ask another question of this brother Imara. He speaks so passionately, intelligently, articulately, and most of all, truthfully. We will not stand or sit and allow ourselves to be human guinea pigs. Thank you very much, Imara.
One love, man. We'll go back to the parliament. Yes. All right.